I'm convinced you started this early just to make me stop doing the DK rap. And on that note, hey everybody, welcome to WeTaku Anime Reviews. I'm Javon. I'm one of your hosts. Help me, please. Somebody, I'm gonna die.
The frogs are keeping the world together with their mind.
Are they?
And with me are three other guys. Please introduce yourselves.
I'm Thomas, and I'm super hungry. I'm eating right now.
Oh, how professional. It's alright, now we just get to post this to social eating as well.
Oh, hi, I'm JD. I've recently been upgraded from guest to just person who does this. So that's pretty cool.
Welcome aboard. Now you have to watch all of our shitty anime.
I have to watch all the shitty anime.
Oh crap!
Horrible.
I almost. I fucked that up. Okay. Hi, I'm Alan. I just completely ruined your immersion for a second. Yeah. I like this show.
Alrighty. And speaking of this show, Alan, what the fuck are we watching?
It's Spice and Wolf, first and second season.
Give us a brief rundown. What did we watch? Tell me about it. I don't remember.
A traveling merchant tries to make business transactions while being trolled by a wolf girl.
No, that's fair.
Sounds about right to me.
Alright, Spice and Wolf is made by Studio Imagine, which, as far as we can tell, hasn't made anything ever or will ever make anything ever again.
Like season 3, like everyone's asking for.
No, I don't want it.
I also don't want it.
I like the open-ended.
We'll talk about it. We'll talk about it.
Alright, yeah. But we're not actually sure they're still open. We can't find evidence either way, actually. So, you know, they made a thing.
They probably have a website if they're still open.
I can't find it. There's another Imagine Studios who does, like, art design, so I'm not sure. So, whatever. Let's just jump in, shall we? Music.
Okay. So, the opening and the ending to the first season were passable. I would be like, okay, it's an anime. It's an anime opening, anime closing. 7 little apples on a tree, 7 little seeds inside of me. It's a
Why was it in
questionable
English?
line.
That
It's
is the
a
most questionable line.
That was a great line.
Questionable line. That song is an innuendo.
In the light novels, he eventually gets her pregnant, so I mean...
Okay.
Okay, so
wait.
all right,
Go ahead.
go on. No, it's fine. That's for later.
Also the like, not specifically the ending or opening, the background music had some good ones, and there were some gigantic flops where I was like, why are they playing this music? Like, I wanted to turn it down. I was like, it's too loud. It's obnoxious. It's like this loud ass like music, and I'm like, yeah, I understand it's a tense situation, but like this music is not fitting it. I know it's like also trying to be like middle
Say Middle Earth.
Middle Ages, and it was bad. It's bad. It's bad. I didn't like the.
You don't like RuneScape music?
I'm not in Varrock, right? I can't be listening to this shit. It had some problems. And are we talking just about music or
Music
also
for now, because I want to talk about sound separately. I have some feelings on it, whereas I have literally no feelings on the music whatsoever at all. It existed. I don't care.
I had
That's
some
not
contention.
It was like, I was listening and I was like, the village music is cute, but it's kind of exactly what you expect from
I
a
also
village.
liked Holo's song,
Oh.
like Holo's theme song. I thought that one was okay.
Yeah, because that's the entire, like, when you brought up music, I was like, wait, do I have feelings about the music?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I
It was there.
I feel about the same. Like, the music didn't really stand out.
Alrighty, RuneScape it is.
The ones that did stand out to me, I didn't like.
If you watch anime for the soundtrack, move on.
Yeah.
Speaking of moving on, I want to talk about dub and sub, because I did something very interesting this time around. I watched the first episode dubbed. Lawrence sucked, but Hollow was fantastic. So then I watched in sub for the rest of the first season. Lawrence was great. Hollow was terrible. Well, not terrible, but I didn't like it. She was no longer a regal goddess. She was just kind of, I know this voice. This is the same voice I expected. Whatever.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't wow me the same way her English voice did.
Mm-hmm.
And then I switched back to the dub for the second season, where Lawrence isn't a MC syndrome, I can't string a sentence together piece of shit anymore. And the dub was a thoroughly enjoyable experience for season 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So-
I actually.
No, go ahead.
Okay. I actually watched the entire thing dubbed because as I grow old and my eyes slow, I find subs are hard.
Alright, I did it for a different reason, JD.
Reading
It's
it-
fine.
Reading's
Old man
hard.
sweet
I don't read anymore. It doesn't work. Like
It's fine. It's fine.
So I watched it all dubbed, and I actually really liked Holo. Honestly, Holo was great.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Hollow dubbed was incredible. That's what I'm saying.
It's the kind of thing like I hadn't really heard that kind of voice before for like an English dub, and I really liked it. She was who I think Holo should be.
She was super regal.
Yeah. And Lawrence is kind of what I think Lawrence should be, who's a boring merchant who talks a lot about what he does for a living. But he was just a dude, which is kind of, I don't know what I'd want from him besides him just being a dude.
I wanted him to be the guy who voiced Kyon in Haruhi.
Oh, okay, yeah. But,
I think Lawrence in season 2 did fine. I really do think his
Yeah.
introduction, where he's just in shock all the time, did not do his like voice
No.
lines any credit.
Oh,
That voice actor
the
did not
beginning,
pull that off.
beginning was proper. But,
We just need more Yuri Lowenthal and everything.
Just throw him in there. Hey, it's Vic Mignogna free. Just get him in.
Yeah, but all in all, I did like the dub for this. I think he was fun about that.
Or Sunohara's voice actor. Anyway, so I watched the first half, the first season dubbed and the second season subbed, to a point, to like maybe episode 16, and then I switched back to the dub. And I'm gonna explain that. Why is because they're different characters.
They really are.
The sub and the dub are completely different characters. Lawrence is in the dub is a down-to-earth guy. He's very logical thinking, and you can kind of get in his head, and like he's always like, this is step 1, this is step 2, this is step 3, and it's always going to work like this. And he's very confident about himself, and that does perhaps come across a bit boring, but like that's, I mean, it's just him.
It works.
Holo is a feisty like woman who has this air about her that is like, once again, she's self-confident, and she knows that she can get what she wants from Lawrence, and can like manipulate him to a bit, and actually like has some feelings as God. Yeah, that actually doesn't come across that much, I don't think, in the dub.
I think in the
like
dub it did, but alright, go on.
she like at some point she's just like, I am Holo the Wise Wolf, which gets a bit annoying, but it's like her just in her pouty moods. In the sub, Holo is every anime character ever. She's got a high-pitched voice.
Mhm.
She is unsure of herself. She is this moody little teenage character, and I gotta give major props to the woman who did Holo in the English dub. She took this character that I could not care less about and raised her to this level of a character that I'm like, hey, that's actually, like, I care a little bit, right?
How much do you think that was also the writing for each episode, right? Because it's not like you
Yeah,
did the same episode
Well,
twice.
so it's also rewritten. They talk about
Mhm.
different things in the dub and the sub. Especially like episode 14 comes to mind, where Holo's like holding her tail and she's like, it keeps me warm in the Japanese version. And then she's like, do you want to hold it too? And Lawrence is like, ooh, yeah. In the English, it's like, he's like, why do you have your tail? And she's like, it keeps the winter frost at bay, and he's like, oh, whatever, and she's like, here's, and like gives it to him, and he's like, I don't need this, but it's warm, so I'm gonna stay like this. Like they have more of a dynamic that I feel is more interesting and more logical, or at least sensible, than the anime like happy-go-lucky like, woo, we're traveling.
Okay, so yeah, I didn't watch the sub instead, but that sounds awful.
Well,
yeah.
before we go down that
Ooh.
subject,
Ooh.
Alan, I know you are a sub watcher who loves Spice and Wolf. Rebuttal.
Okay, so when I hear Hollow, like, yeah, I can get that, but I also, so I actually know the difference between her speech pattern and like a normal person's. So like her speech pattern in Japanese is like very regal and very full of herself. So like I could still get that she was very self-confident. But yeah.
I think it came though in the sub. I feel like it came across more like the blonde girl from The World God Only Knows, where it's like that aura of like I am better because I believe I'm better, instead of like I am better because I am better, which I feel like the
Yeah, that's fair.
sub did a little better.
That's fair. I didn't really get that, but you know.
To each their own.
Yeah, it's more, because that's a very rare, I'm gonna go into my, like, Japanese knowledge here. That's a very rare, sort of way to speak. Like, you don't hear that very often, and the only other time I've heard it, is from Fate Extra, with...
I thought you were going to bring up Nero.
Yeah, with Nero, who is, like, an incredibly self-confident emperor. Like, that's the level of power that you need to, you know, convey that, or to use that kind of speech pattern. Also, I think my internet cut out.
Yeah, you're still here. We got you.
Yeah, my internet's really weird. I'm gonna try something, but you guys talk for a second.
All right. Well, going off of that point, I think that was actually one of my problems with the sub hollow, though. This is because I experienced Fate Extra first, because for those of you who don't know, Alan and I, big Fate fans.
Okay.
Too big of Fate fans.
Back.
But for me, hearing her, I almost related, like, I couldn't tell the difference between Hollow's character and Nero's in the sub.
Mm-hmm.
And that bothered me. Like, because I know they're different characters. But it's also maybe just like my lack of experience knowing Japanese or whatever, and just getting what the subs gave me. But the whole time I was just like, "You're just Nero, you're just Nero, Nero, cut it out, come on, Nero." It didn't feel. I don't know. I liked Hollow in English because I was able to separate her from any other character and just let her exist as Hollow.
Yeah. I like Hollow in English. I don't like Lawrence in English for what I've seen.
That's fair.
You know.
I think after like episode 3, when he finally goes to the whatever it is after he leaves the church, about the guy telling him to invest in the coins.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, when he I think it's episode 4 is like where he finally like I think starts to understand the character a little more and speaks more from what he wants from the character.
Well,
And that's why I started English dubbing, and it's season 2, baby.
That's good.
So, yeah, we all have very complicated feelings about voices, but you know what? One thing that was awesome, I think we can all admit, Hollow's first howl.
The wolf.
Anyway,
That's furry's fan service, though. That's
no, it was a good wolf howl. That was just a good old fashioned. That
Yes.
wasn't a person wolf howl. They just took a soundbite of a wolf.
I kind of wish we got the. I kind of wish like it was a failed, like
No,
human.
like she
No,
starts
they
doing
go,
it and
"Oh,
starts
no."
talking. She's like, "Oh, I have a human throat."
no, that would suck dicks.
Nah. I don't know. That was I didn't see that. I was like, that's moment I'll remember.
All right, I
I
get.
saw it and I was like, she did it.
My
She's the
bad.
wolf.
I thought it was cool. I thought everybody would agree.
I might be in the minority. I don't know, but I was like, wolf girls howling again.
But it was like a real howl. I didn't expect a real howl. I expected it to sound like Wolf Girl howling.
Talking about in the sewer, yeah? In the
No, I'm talking about in episode 1. The first time he
Literally,
meets.
she's on the car.
Yeah. She
Yeah,
just,
no,
like,
that was furry bait. Yeah, I'm not.
I thought it was cool.
that one.
There we go.
I thought you were talking about the underground one. That underground one was probably her best one.
We're moving on.
There goes that bit out the window.
Throw it out. Just get rid of it.
Javon, hide your furry head. It's showing.
I'm the one with the
See in
furry
the
head.
corner.
My bad. My bad. That's
Okay.
true. I don't know what face Alan's using, but I'm almost positive it's going to be furry.
It's a picture of her
It's in the second
wearing
opening.
the cloak that she's given when she goes.
Oh boy. Alrighty. Great. We're gonna talk about characters really quick and then jump into the spoiler section. There are 2 of them. Their names are Lawrence and Hollow, and we've talked about them a lot already. Does anyone have anything to add?
Lawrence is why you watch the show, unless you like furries, in which case Holo is the reason why you watch the show.
There are no other important characters other than those 2. Everyone else is forgettable.
I like Lawrence until he got interesting and stopped talking about economics.
I think he was most interesting when he was talking about
And
economics.
that is the
Exactly.
crux of the problem. Alright, we are going to jump into spoilers because I want to talk about this bit.
Wait,
Alright, if everybody's ready.
animation.
It was bad. Okay, so
It
Ah.
wasn't.
It was
wasn't
like
bad.
okay.
it wasn't good either.
It's passable.
Prefer to
It's,
be-
it's
it was
any
like-
anime.
It's like
It's what
it's any anime.
Mhm.
Like there were no problems as far as I saw.
The
It
kiss
didn't
was
do
abysmal.
anything. It didn't do anything like amazing.
Yeah, it wasn't ugly. Like the composition was good enough.
I'd rate it better than average, maybe.
It's better than average, I'll give you that. I would like to point out, though, that before the show came on, we were talking about a kiss that happens in the show, and Thomas didn't realize that it happened because it was that poorly animated.
Oh, I thought their faces were just really close together.
It kind of looked like they were. It could have been a hug. Alrighty. With all that in mind, gonna jump into spoilers. There's YouTube VODs, you can come back, it's fine, go watch the show if what we talked about interested you. Also, if you like economics. I don't know. Alright, spoilers in 3, 2,
Oh, wait,
I forgot
did we
one
like
bit.
it or not?
I forgot the one
Yeah.
bit, yep.
Oh no.
I liked it to the most part. My like and recommendations are going to be very different. I'm going to say I liked it enough.
I get what you mean, Javon. Wink, wink. Yeah, yeah.
Alright.
I
I
like
hate
those
you.
bits. Yeah,
I hate you
yeah,
so
yeah.
much. JD. JD, I hate you.
Jovan was howling after he saw that.
Oh yeah.
Oh man.
This
that
is
howl.
this is absolutely false.
You didn't think you'd end up on this side of the fence, did you, Javon?
I didn't. I'm not part of this fence. Okay, Thomas, we are on Twitch.
All right.
Sir,
Let's,
do
I
not
just
get,
stop
threw my
bullying
shoulder.
Javon.
do not get us kicked off.
See, look, I was doing this.
Yeah.
Let's stop bullying
How about
Javon.
you 3 assholes?
Okay, so the I so if you could like see this on a scale of like here's like up here, dislikes right here, I would say I'm like right there, right below apathetic. I dislike it just a little bit. I don't think it's terrible, but I didn't like it.
It's a good scale. Put me like right above like.
Apathy.
No. Above apathy, but just barely.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we're on like the opposite part of
Yeah.
that.
Mhm. Yeah. So I liked it better than I thought I would, honestly.
I did too.
Because it's different than I thought it was going to be. I think it has more of a following than it really deserves. But I like that it was its own thing. It wasn't like, to my knowledge, like I don't know how many economics anime shows there are.
I can't imagine
But-
there are many.
Oh, also
only know of
pretty
one more.
accurate as
Mhm.
far as information for economics goes.
Yeah.
Like
They
a
go
lot of
into
that.
Oh yeah,
detail.
that's Thomas's thing. I forgot
Yeah,
you did that.
I do
I was
finance.
literally thinking about you talking
Oh.
about abjuration to me, and while they were talking about flipping currencies, I was like, "Whoa, that's
Yeah,
weird."
my favorite thing that they actually talk about, as far as economics goes, they talk about futures contracts, which is a more like advanced sort of thing. That's what he does with the blonde kid in that city in the first arc of season 2. It's a futures contract, is the bet, and that's more higher. That's like a higher level thing. It's a derivative.
Okay.
Yeah, but I like it. It was cool. And then they corner the market. Yeah, that's all about that.
Yeah.
I'll get probably a little more into different parts of it after
Yeah.
spoilers.
But
How'd you like it, Alan?
Well, no, okay, so I think, I'm gonna say the same thing that Jovan said. My like and recommendation is gonna be kind of different. I like it. I watched it quite a few years ago, and it's probably at this point some of the nostalgia, like bringing it up for me. But I
Yeah,
do like it.
nostalgia's fair game.
I do like it. And compared to like some of the stuff that came out around the same time, I think it's pretty good.
All right. With all that in mind, in 3, 2, 1, welcome to the spoiler section.
That was
As
too
always.
fast!
oh no,
It's okay, I gave the whole spiel beforehand. I'm not giving it twice, damn it. Who's the best girl?
Alpha Wolf. The one that she fucked with. Not like fucked with, but like messed with, like bowed down to. And
Okay.
the enemy wolf.
Yeah.
It's-
Traveling.
Yeah. I mean, it looked badass. Walking through the woods like that.
I'm glad it had that much of an impact on you.
Yeah, that walk.
Girl.
is,
Chloe,
Alan?
is Chloe the best girl?
No.
Needs
Is
further
she?
consideration.
Wait, remind me
Or
who Chloe
character.
is?
She was
Oh,
the girl
the
who,
redhead.
yeah, the one who was a friend and then betrayed everyone.
The one who in the first episode was trying to bait you so hard, Jesus.
She betrayed everyone, and then it amounted to nothing. And
Yeah,
then
can I
and
talk
then the
about
story
how-
went on.
Can I talk about how pointless she was in the grand scheme of things? Like, she, like, presents herself, like, in the first episode as this character that you'd think, like, oh, wow, maybe he's gonna, like, do something with her, bring
Yeah,
her
she's-
along.
Childhood friend.
And then,
Also
like,
trying to seduce him hella hard.
then it looks like she gets in trouble, and then, like, a couple episodes later, like, she's the big bad guy, and you're like, oh my god, she's a big bad guy! And, like, and then you're like, oh my god, she's probably gonna be like this big mastermind, always like tripping up Lawrence left and right. She's gone. She's
No, that
gone.
was the end of her arc. I'm happy he was first episode introduced to be nothing.
She's there for 3 episodes and
Amazing.
Okay.
Alan, do you have a best girl?
Oh, what? Okay. I didn't know I was going next. I'll say.
Did I waste mine on Chloe? Shit.
Sorry, JD, it's recorded forever.
No.
I'll say
Uh.
Lawrence when he's in business mode, and Holo every other time because she's trolling him every other time.
Am I the only one getting Robot Alan? or-
I'm getting robots.
yeah, but
Alright.
Twitch isn't gonna get Robot Ellen, so it's fine.
Oh, right, I forgot. Alan's
Oh,
on
we're gonna be
course,
the
it's fine.
robots.
Oh, that's so bad.
No.
I'll repeat it. Lawrence when
And-
he's in business
Oh.
He's
mode.
dead.
Lawrence when
Okay,
he's...
no, he's good. He's back.
Okay. I'll repeat it then. Lawrence when he's in business mode, and Holo every other time because that's when she's trolling him.
Alright, that's fair. I forget that I have to answer these when I put out the questions.
Well, there's 2 characters to pick from.
Yeah,
There
like,
really
it's like
are.
a 50-50.
Alright, in which case... I think I have one in my pocket. One sec.
I pick Lawrence when he's not irrational, I guess, because he becomes rational quite a bit.
Nope,
Yeah.
no points. Now I have to make an actual
I don't
decision.
know.
There goes that bit too. I'm gonna go with Lawrence, probably. No. Yes. Yeah, Lawrence. Hollow? Both. Can I go with both?
No.
Well, that's
Why
not-
would you?
Pick one.
Alright,
There
then
are
I
a
choose
couple,
Eva
I
for
guess.
having no... I choose Eva from the last arc
There
for
we
having,
go.
like, character motivations that I still don't really understand,
I like that
and
we called
knocking
it-
him out to steal his money, but then giving him an equivalent amount of money in the form of a building.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
why? What happened? Last one.
Anyway,
The
last arc
arc was
Fucking awful.
that was dumb. Oh yeah,
No, it's
I'll
fine.
trade away Holo, but I'll get her back, so it's fine.
it's fine.
It's fine.
The fact that they communicated was enough for me.
Holo, trust me, we'll make money off of selling you into slavery.
Okay,
She was down for it, it's
What?
fine.
season 2 as a whole was.
Alright, we'll talk about season 2. I want to talk about the premise real fast.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to put this into terms that I put it into earlier. Economics is boring. But
No, it's
But-
boring relationships. Economics.
Alright, hear me out. Economics is boring, but they treat it the same way that like a sports anime treats a sport you don't give a shit about. By animating it up and making it way more intense and cool than it actually is.
Well,
That said,
you can get your blood pumping doing economics, especially like what they were doing in season 2 in the beginning. Like when you're on the market floor, like that, I'm sure that you get rushes doing that.
as an economics person, I'm sure you can. I can't.
Yeah. I think the problem is like when you watch like you could watch like a basketball anime and see them shoot a shot and make it and be like, that was good that they did that. But you can't see him make a long trade deal and then make slightly more money off of it and then be like, wow, that was crazy. That was
You
wild.
made
that
like
did that."
20% profit, dude.
Dude,
The numbers, man.
I hope. I can't even imagine him making 25% profit next time.
It's like that episode of the fucking Clone Wars where like it's a Padme episode, and every time there's a Padme episode, you know nothing good's gonna happen.
Because
And they're
Jar Jar's
sitting in a
in it
room,
also.
and she's trying to like negotiate tax deals or like
Yes.
something, and the guy's like, I'm raising the interest rate to 25%. She's like, 25%? That's theft! And I'm like, why am I watching this show?
Dude, it's
Where
exactly
are the lightsabers?
Dude,
I want
it-
laser swords cutting people.
It's exactly like the Star Wars prequel where I was like, I don't get why people like Star Wars, and then I realized it just didn't have enough socioeconomic background for me to really care about it. So I'm happy we could see his role making trade deals.
Yeah, I know people like come to the show and so they go for the wolf girl, they stay for the wolf girl, they end up learning a little bit about economics.
Yeah, I'd argue it wouldn't be that hard for someone to stay the entire time for the Wolf Girl. They have enough.
So also I do want to say that you could actually learn a decent bit of supply demand economics through this. Also like different sorts of trade deals and why crashes might happen and some like investment psychology. But I saw a couple memes talking about like I learned more about economics than I did in 4 years of college. That's bullshit. Like it's pretty
not if you're a
simple
terrible
stuff on
student.
here.
That's
You're
true.
just an awful student.
Maybe high school
It's
economics.
like yeah, you like maybe one high school class of economics this might fill in for you. Other than that, like no, all right.
It did still have like a decent bit though. Like it's kind of surprising how much it has, considering it's an anime.
No, it does have a lot of like I don't know shit about economics, so I actually like there was a lot of new information presented to me on the screen. I cannot say I learned it because it came and went. It's gone already, and I finished the show earlier today. But like it's also that's one of the reasons I watched it dubbed was while JD forgot how to read in his old age.
It happens.
I got really tired of having to pay full attention to the screen to read about economics. It worked better for me when I was listening to it because I could be doing literally anything else while he talked. It helped.
Yeah, no, they do go into too much detail, I think. Like, they don't
But
need
that's
to be...
good for people who care.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like, honestly, they're padding out time, because they're like,
Yeah.
because they're talking about, like devaluing, like, silver coins, and how, like, that's going to destabilize his investment, and should he even invest in that? You could literally just say, like, hey, I want to invest in this. Oh wait, no, this guy's trying to trick me into this devaluing currency that they're just trying to buy out and like do this convoluted shit with.
So,
Like that would have been fine.
3 episodes.
So, I actually watched an interview with the author of the light novel for this. And his reasoning for writing this was he wanted to write something about medieval economics. He did not want to write a story about people traveling doing medieval economics necessarily.
But normal medieval economics wouldn't have sold very well.
So you add a naked wolf.
Yeah. I mean,
Actually, I
honestly,
kind of
if I
appreciate how blatant he was with just trying to draw people into medieval economics.
oh yeah, no, it was like if I was trying to trick someone into learning something, let's have a naked fox girl read it to them. That
No.
was fun.
No, that makes a lot of sense, actually.
I did want to talk about this briefly. So you see it more in the first half of season 2, but like I think they do a good job capturing like pagan rituals, like art design, building architecture. I think was pretty on point too, and costume design. Like their festival costumes looked actually like something a pagan might do,
Yeah.
did do, and I think that was pretty cool that they stayed pretty faithful to, I think it's German, and then they moved up to like Denmark in the second season, end of the second season.
Yeah.
Um,
I have a question.
mhm.
Only semi-related because you just brought it up in my head again. So, like, part of the show is predicated on, like, pagan versus church versus atheism, merchants,
Money.
tension stuff. Chloe. I want to talk about Chloe for a sec,
May the
because
power of
her
Christ
entire plan
compel
was to
you.
get rid of Hollow so that she could make a world in which they didn't need to depend on gods anymore. What was her replacement? Because Hollow is directly tied to the fact that their place got grain. Hollow dies, you no longer get grain.
Because
At the
because they believe that when Hollow left, they were in famine for like 2 or 3 years or whatever, but then they were able to start doing it on their own. They had to learn because she was gone.
Okay.
so really, she just wanted to be independent.
But, alright, sure, whatever.
She didn't want to
I'll
depend on
take
the
it.
mood swings of Hollow, which I mean,
Talk more about costume design.
wow, dead air. Okay.
So you kind of cut out.
cut out most
asking
So
a
we were
question
all
'cause I
trying
did
really
not
hard
hear
to figure out
anything.
what you were saying.
I didn't hear a thing.
I don't know what's wrong with my internet right now. Like, it's
It's
gone
fine.
to shit.
Look on the bright side, we can hear you clearly every time you complain about the
Yeah,
internet.
that's the only time. It's
I
perfectly
just like the like. Oh wow, dead air, and I'm just like, how are you supposed to say something?
Okay, I'm just gonna start agreeing with you, Alan. Every time I stop hearing you, you're right.
It's gonna be, you are right.
Yeah, that was a thing.
You're gonna find out Alan was like talking about how you're the worst addition to the show, and just hates you. You're like,
Oh yeah, man. Yeah, man. And I don't. Why'd the writers pick that?
It's like when you're at a party and you're just like looking at your drink and you're like, oh, all these bubbles, and like this person's like talking to you and they're like, man, wouldn't that fucking suck? And you're just like,
Of course.
oh, you know, man, and they're like, yeah, man.
And this is how you make friends.
Action. And you're like, yes, we did.
I looked
Yes,
up and
we did.
someone's been talking to me for 30 minutes. I don't even know. And
You know
I'm
what?
like,
At that point,
yeah,
you don't need to acknowledge them.
Nah.
Did you zoom in on anyone else's? Because he's really close on mine.
Nice. Normal.
For
It's
to
fine.
me, like JD's like this right now.
No, it's fine. It's fine for
He's
me.
normal on mine. Oh, hey, JD's hair.
Oh,
Weird.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know what's up with that. Man, this is computer issues, the show. We've got those. That's
I
fine.
blame Microsoft. Microsoft now owns Skype. They need to
They've
put
owned
more
Skype for like
Yeah.
2 years.
5 years.
You
I
think they
blame-
would have made it a good product?
I
That
blame
one?
Time Warner for my problems.
I think you mean Spectrum.
Oh yeah, monopolistic society.
It's not a
That's
monopoly.
also economics.
Yeah, if only they talked about monopolies and.
Yeah, I want an internet monopoly episode.
You just need to be like, you just need to be a libertarian. Just tell everyone to build their own roads. Just build your own internet connection.
Like legitimately, right now, I'm looking over your shoulder. I see like the edge of your.
Wait, you're looking for me? Where do
Yeah.
you see?
I see. Yeah, I see your hand now. Your hand is in the center of the screen.
Really?
That is so weird.
I
All
see
right.
myself as normal.
No, JD,
I
we
don't
see
know.
you as normal too. This is a problem on Thomas's end.
Okay,
Yeah, I
that's-
don't know
so
what
that's-
it is.
Okay, I don't know, man.
All right, anyway,
What?
back to the show.
Back to
No, fuck the
Reasonable,
show. I
right?
want to talk about the internet.
So,
I
Siobhan, where will you
didn't
be
know
posting your
real
fan
talk,
fiction of Spice Wolf?
All right, so I'm gonna throw Alan under the bus to save myself here,
Uh-huh. Yep, I'll take it.
because you guys said stay for the economics. No, show up for the Wolf Girl, stay for the economics.
Yeah.
Alan,
I
you
said
said you
stay
care
for
about
the
the
Wolf
economics.
Okay. Yeah.
The economics are terrible.
Alan here has a poster. He has a wall scroll, a pretty big one of Hollow, but he does not have a wall scroll of medieval economics. I'm just putting it out there.
Oh, this is my chart of exchange rates in the 14th century.
Do you
I'm
want
just
me
saying he has the Wolf Girl.
Do you want me to print one out? I can go
want
do
a
that.
physical poster. No, I want a physical poster in stone of exchange rates now, and then you change
Yeah.
it every morning.
You have
Yeah.
sliders
Print out a new
with
one.
numbers around.
Just putting it out there. All right. No, realistically though, guys, do we want to talk about the ending since that's kind of a point of contention? I think.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, all right. So, well, I think we should go in arcs. So there are 4 big arcs. Sorry, I think this is the best way to do it.
No, you're right. I just don't care that much.
3D's fixed. Yay.
Well, there's the first arc, and then there was 2 in the middle at some point, and then the last arc.
Honestly, the first arc was good. The second arc, I feel like, was the most entertaining because, like, Lawrence makes a big mistake. He, like, like, this guy's trying to, like, mess with him, and Lawrence, like, finds out about it because Hollow doesn't,
Reads.
for some reason, directly tell him that.
Hollow's having fun. It's fine.
Anyway, he gets, like, revenge on him, and he gets all this armor on credit, goes to this other town.
Armor's
All the-
worthless.
Yeah, all the armor's like there's been a big crash. No demand for it.
The armor bubble
Too much
popped.
supply. Yeah. And then, oh yeah, they talk a little bit about bubbles too. And then they like sell his debt, which is another thing, to another company, and then like they actually do some exploring and almost get killed by wolves and other people, and that's like kind of cool.
And they smuggle gold and sell gold for more gold. And
Yeah.
They sell gold for gold pieces.
yeah.
I don't know if you guys caught the. I'm sure you caught it later on, or maybe not. But there was supposed to be an expedition to the north, and they kind of mentioned it during the last arc, as well as the one before
And it got
it.
canceled, right?
Yeah, it got canceled. That's why the armor crashed, but they didn't say why during the actual armor arc, like that part of the story. It was afterwards, and you kind of had to piece it together.
Interesting.
Like an economist would.
Which is kind of strange because the show itself typically spells everything out for you.
It
Yeah.
generally does, yeah. But I guess that was the information the characters had at the time. They didn't know why things were going to shit. They just knew things were. And then later on, they figured out other things.
Yeah.
And at that point, it would have been redundant to bring it up or something.
Which, it must really suck for like an entire economy to basically be reliant on this one thing that they do.
Yeah, right.
That's why you need diversification.
If only he had invested in things that weren't armor.
Yeah, like, oh, PSA for all you guys, if you've got like a 401k or whatever, all invested into one company, don't fucking do that. I mean, you can put your 401k and get everything you want out of that, right? But if that company fails, what happens now? You need to put your money in a whole bunch of different places, otherwise you're not going to have any money left.
Welcome to WeTaku Economics Talk.
I'm just gonna put all in the government. If that fails, then GG.
Wait,
Game's over.
Well,
the
so
government was
actually,
bankrupt like
The
3
fun-
times.
Game's over, boys.
that's how you get the risk-free rate. You invest in the government. You buy bonds from the government.
Yeah.
But
Alright, see, easy
I mean,
peasy.
because like, is the U.S. really gonna fail? I don't know, but
If it does, something went horribly wrong.
If it does, you're not really worrying about the bonds as much.
Yeah, no, that's exactly what people say. Like, that's why it's the risk-free rate. Like, if the country fails, you're like, well, get the guns.
Yep, that's a new situation.
Loot.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, you're not worrying about your retirement at that point anymore.
So eventually they use sheep and they get back their debt. The end.
Yeah. All right.
They did it.
And then there's the one with the pyrite bubble, which is kind of really dumb. People are like investing in this
No, it's a romance story.
worthless rock because, which I think they kind of do kind of interestingly, where they have the soothsayers come in and they read the rocks and they tell them the future because of that. And so everyone's like, oh my god, when more soothsayers come, they'll want more pyrite. And no more soothsayers come, but everyone's like, yeah, let's start investing in this. And then you see this like, you can see it's going up. Everyone's like, yeah, the more people buy, the more the price will go up because the more people want to buy, and so the price goes up. Once
Makes
someone
sense.
starts selling, then the psychology behind it, everyone's like, oh man, now I gotta sell, which is, actual economics. And so Lawrence, what his goal is to do, because he has that futures contract, which means the guy pays for it before, and then Lawrence has to give him the commodity the next day, which it's typically not that short. So he's trying to spook the market by getting it high and buying in when it's low. So he buys some pyrite, and so he's trying to get into it, and then he wants to sell it all when it's super high and sell enough of it to scare the market all the way down so that he can make a huge profit and fuck over the other kid. Which is also like a kid.
I feel like I should bring up the other bit, which is this entire arc literally happens because Lawrence and Hollow get into like one argument, and if Hattie fit of her rage, Hollow tells some other guy that she's being like enslaved or something, and then the guy's like, "I'm gonna free her and then marry her," and Lawrence is like, "I guess I have to make more money than you now?" Question mark.
That's the only way.
I think it was just her failure of offering an explanation other than "I'm a wolf." I think she couldn't think of a better explanation because she can't. Well, she offered that she's a nun, and he's like, "You can't be a nun. I've seen like the signs of you not being a nun," and then like they're not married, and though he should have just kept pretending that she was his wife because that's what he did in the first place, and it worked.
No, like half of their problems came from the fact that he stopped that pretending for whatever the fuck reason.
Yeah, like they don't explain what they talk about, how like it helps them out in the beginning, and then they briefly talk about it at the end. He's like, I used to call you my wife, or whatever like that, and like none of the problems in the
And he couldn't get a loan because people were like,
middle.
"You're out of wedlock with her," and it's like, why not just keep up that lie anyways?
Yeah, like I don't know why they stopped doing that. And like they didn't care. Like there wasn't the typical anime like, oh, if we pretend to be husband and wife, then it's weird. No, they were like, yeah, no, it's fine. We're husband and wife, and like they didn't bat an
They're
eye
adults.
at it. Yeah, they're adults. I just don't get it. I just don't get it. Like, Like they
That-
conveniently forgot.
That's
about it.
why I didn't like the Pyrite arc, is because it was entirely predicated on like a stupid miscommunication off of a stupid excuse that had no point in existing. Especially because the whole time Lawrence is like, if I don't make the money, then Hollow will probably just leave me for him.
No, but now it seems
Come
pretty
on.
obvious. The whole show is just to teach you about basic economics,
I
and
just
so they don't care about the plot holes. So like, but did you learn something?
and I didn't.
I
I learned not to invest in armor
I mean, I really wouldn't suggest
or
that
trust other people with
nowadays.
machetes in a business deal.
Well, actually, yeah, no, I think investing in arms is actually not a bad idea. Like maybe, like actually, ethically, I wouldn't want to, but I mean, Lockheed Martin's doing pretty well right now.
God damn it. And then the fourth arc, which I'm gonna do my best to explain it. Somebody fix it when I get everything horribly wrong. Meet up with some random person in a hood. Turns that person in the hood's a woman. It doesn't really matter, but we're gonna talk about it like it does.
Sounds
Now-
right so far.
It is medieval Europe. It is medieval Europe. I mean,
Okay,
kind of
fair
thing's not-
enough. Fair enough. But thus far,
Yeah.
we've met two like women merchants, and nobody's batted an eye about it. Is the thing. Like nobody told Chloe she couldn't be like he didn't not partner with Chloe because she was a woman or whatever. He was just like, you're too young. Fuck off.
I think the only reason Chloe had power though is because her dad's an aristocrat.
That's fair. All right, whatever. Not the point. Okay, cool. She's a woman. We're really proud of her. It didn't change anything at all whatsoever. They have a really, really weird, complicated fur trade thing that they decided to sell Hollow into slavery, I think?
It's important. It's
Yeah,
the only
so they
way.
ta-
collateral.
They don't explicitly say slavery, but it's slavery because they talk about it in the beginning of the arc.
person.
They talk about slavery in the beginning of the arc. They say it's like not different, it's important to like the economy, which I don't think Germans even had that much slavery, but I don't know.
Lobs.
Yeah, okay.
I don't know.
And then and then so yeah, they don't say that she's in slavery, but they talk about slavery and then suddenly they're selling people. So it's slavery.
Yeah.
And yeah, collateral, whatever. If
I don't think
he
it's
doesn't
collateral
pay
because they weren't
back-
expecting to get her back, is the thing.
Yeah, if he can't pay her back, then she is a slave. Also, yeah, I think a lot of the ways that they just get by the fact that like they don't have to do the collateral or whatever, like they don't have to pay back the debt, is that she can turn into a wolf and run away.
Yeah.
Also, huge plot hole. The wheat that he carries around with him, she like gets kidnapped or whatever in the first season, or in the first arc of the first season. Why didn't she teleport to him?
Because she's in a physical form.
It doesn't matter. They said that she can teleport to anywhere there's wheat. She can teleport from wheat to wheat.
She didn't have wheat to teleport to. Oh, she did have wheat.
For dramatic
Well-
effect.
Dramatic effect.
But
I
like,
mean,
oh my god, like in the first arc they
But-
talk about I can teleport to you anywhere, and I was like, oh wow, that's brilliant. Like I
Listen, I don't think
it's
they
gonna
ever
come
do it.
up.
I
They
Yeah,
never do it.
They never really go
never
into much
do it.
detail with how it works. In my mind, it was the wheat was like cut, so she was just in that wheat.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
kind of
I
how I
don't-
did it.
I don't really know how it works, to be honest.
also I feel like if that were a thing, it'd just get really cheesy and even worse.
Yeah.
She will
Just
sell
get
you
better.
all the time, Hello. There's no consequences.
I'll be halfway in a boat, halfway across the world, and bam, you're back. What's up?
Yeah. Good.
Man, what a great con man we are. All right, and then the last episode happens because this like convoluted sell, take back, sell trade. There's like 3 different steps happening around here. I don't understand economics. I don't care that much. I'll be completely honest. At the end, Eva, the businesswoman they were teaming up with, decides to like confront him, threaten his life, like give her weird dramatic backstory about how money is evil, and then be like, "But I'm still in it for the money, babe." Then knock him out, steal his gold, and you're like, "Okay, that's a villain." And then like whisper in his ear that I still have hope. Give him a building of equivalent gold to the shit she just stole. get Hollow back, and then they kiss in a room and leave.
Yeah, it's pretty
What have I missed?
anticlimactic.
That's it.
The salt thing, but I mean that's not really.
Okay, yeah, she was smuggling salt to the church, and that made the church depend on her. But then the church and the pagans and the military.
The big problem is like it's the overarching story of Holo and or of Lawrence trying to get Holo to the north so she can be free, and then like the smaller economic dramas in the as the arts, and then you find out like the home that she's from or the village that she used to live right outside of and would get
Skill.
wheat for. Yeah, it's been like 200 300 years and it's been destroyed, and it's just like, oh yeah, and he also wants to build own a shop. That's like his goal. And so in the end it's just like the thing that you always expected. He's not going to get a shop and he's just going to travel with her forever, and they never go to the north. Maybe it doesn't really matter.
See, but
It all felt like worthless.
I didn't like the arc that led up to it because I had no fucking clue what was going on. But I liked the conclusion. I'm a sucker for a happy ending, and I know that.
Well, it's kind of a happy ending.
It's a fine ending. They're gonna travel together forever. He's gonna have babies with her. It's gonna be fine.
mean, but there is kind of the looming thing that she was worried about where, like, oh, I'm gonna live forever and you're gonna die.
And that'll be fine when it comes.
I do like some of their more dramatic moments where she does like have those fears of in the first part of the second season, I think, is where they really pull out a lot of the stops, because first of all that arc is way too long, and so you see like her in the field, naked of course, with like 3 other wolves, and she's like, home, and then like she sees Lawrence and she's like, but I want Lawrence, and then he turns to skeleton right there and turns to dust and flies away, and then like she kind of talks about that later, like that she's so scared of losing him, and then you see him in his like stuck in his mind thinking that like she's off with this other dude, having like banging in the same hotel room as they own, and like the whole time like she's actually.
I thought they did the romance really well in season 2.
I think they did tension well.
Good enough.
I think the romance was me.
Romantic tension is the closest to like pure romance we get until the end. Tom, we can hear it.
No.
Your chair is loud shit. Stop. Bad. But like.
It's one of the better relationships that isn't like super focused on until then.
Yeah, like I was fine with how they portrayed it. I was fine with the trip there, and it wasn't like, maybe I just hate anime romance that much, but I was like, wow, that wasn't the worst.
I mean, it doesn't even have to be that complicated. Look at Redline. He's like, oh shit, this girl's beautiful, and she's like, I knew you before. And he's like, you knew me before? You're the reason I race. Boom.
Okay, fair, but like Redline's A, a movie, and 2, like A and 2. Yep, I did it.
I
hate you.
That would definitely not work for like a whole series though. Like.
No, it wouldn't. It would not at all.
That would be like one episode, and then you'd be like, wait, what?
And that's like saying, I saw this like way of developing a character in JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. It'll work in anything, right? This like slow economic medieval draw. No.
Yeah, but I feel like my biggest problem with it is it doesn't focus enough on the romance for it to be a romantic show.
It's not.
It doesn't focus on enough. Actually, I think of anything, I think it loses focus quite a lot.
And yeah, no, I'll agree with that. I don't think it's like the best show ever, but like. I liked that it didn't focus on the romance, but the romance was a driving factor for a lot of season 2. And I like that in the end they're both just like, hey, oops, looks like we fell in love. Alright, guess we're stuck with that for a while. And then the show ends, and you're like, well, I guess they're going to keep doing this. Which I'm down for. I don't want to see him like own a store. That seems really boring.
No.
I'd watch him own a store.
I would not watch him own a store.
I'd watch him own a store, and then Holo has to leave, and he's just sitting there manning the shop.
That sounds so abysmal.
And he's just going over ledgers, and he's like, "Oh, well, my China sales are going to go down in the next season because that new trade route opened up. Oh boy, I only have 3 months to think about this before I have to act upon it."
He like messes up the balance sheet. He's like, wait, this guy, I didn't take cash from this guy, but he didn't buy it on credit. How did he buy it? Like, I don't know.
To be fair, the
Oh, wait, I
mangaka
forgot.
agrees
Scratch
with you
that
guys
right.
on me.
Okay, yeah, we're good.
The mangaka's on your guys' team, apparently. But I like the idea of him just being an eternal, like, wandering salesman with Hollow. And Alan said they have kids, and I'm down for that.
They have one kid
Another problem.
who also apparently
Good
gets
enough.
together with a traveling merchant.
Is
Good
he
for
a,
him.
Is he or she a wolf person?
Yeah, she.
Figured. Okay,
Perfect.
so
You go, baby Hollow.
another problem I had with it is Chloe should be dead.
Yeah.
She was like, Lawrence, I've known you forever. I'm gonna kill you, which comes out of nowhere. And
Fine, he didn't want to bang her in episode 1. She's fully justified.
so Holo's like, I'm gonna eat you now. And Lawrence is like, no. And she like Holo's not like, I'm gonna do it, which seems within character for her English voice actor. But she's like, okay, and like puts her down, and Lawrence is just like, happy ending. She tried to kill you, you son of a bitch!
You know what they're doing? They're setting up Chloe for that season 3 final big bad moment.
Lawrence responds really well to death threats, is all I'm saying. Eva shows up with a fucking cleaver, and he's just like, yeah, this seems fair. And then she whispers, like, I have hope in his ear, and he's like, never mind, I'm okay with this situation now, knock me out, whatever.
Yeah, the guys that beat him up, and he's like, no, don't kill them either. When Holo once again has the dude in his mouth, he's like, no, and I'm like, come on, like.
I mean, I
there
get
are-
that he doesn't
there are
like watching people
20
eat by
mercenaries hired to kill you, and you are like, no, it's all fine.
wolves. To be fair, I can understand him not wanting them to die by wolf specifically, due to that whole thing he has about that. But man, I want to imagine him going to his friend's grave and being like, so I'm banging a wolf now.
It got weird. Some stuff happened.
I don't think that person has a grave.
Touche.
There's not much you can take back.
All right, fair. You know what? Not awkward at all. It's fine now. The afterlife might be a little weird, but it's fine.
No, but the main focus of the entire show is basically just the journey. And that's why they're like 12, 15, I don't know, it was a multiple of 3, I think, books. And we got up to the 6th, I think.
I mean, does it ever actually have a conclusion in the books?
Yeah, they have a kid and settle down, I think.
See, I'm glad we don't have to watch that. Don't get me
I
wrong,
don't-
I love the implication. I love that it happens in the future. I don't think it's very interesting on screen.
Is the kid
Well,
immortal?
I'm pretty sure, like, the kid is an afterword, and the end is just them settling down.
And I mean, that's cute, and that's fun, and that's nice. I like the way the anime ended of, like, and there's an eternity of more adventures for them on the horizon.
Until he
Out of
turns into a
curiosity.
skeleton and dusts away.
Shush.
Did they ever get to Vital or whatever they're trying to go to?
I don't remember. I mean, I haven't read the books.
Yoits. That's what it's called.
I have not read the
Yoits.
books. They are available for purchase on a certain website that we're not sponsored by.
Man, they sponsor everyone, too. We need to get in on that.
It's Bookwalker.
We can get sponsored?
You can get
No.
sponsored by Crunchyroll.
Damn. Can we
We
get that
won't.
by? Can we buy enough Chinese robots to watch the podcast so that Crunchyroll sponsors us?
The problem is that would
He's-
require us to have a consistent schedule so we could get the
Yeah, man.
sponsorship money.
Who's
Shitty, when
always
was the last
the-
time we did this on schedule?
All the Chinese robots are like we don't know when to tune in.
Legit
Oh.
though, what if we got sponsored by like the government of China? Like I know you're like
We
saying
take it.
Chinese as like a
Take it in
joke.
an instant.
That's a lot of money.
Like actual China. That'd be
I
sweet.
feel like China's not into that.
No, I'll slip in like communist propaganda. In
Lawrence
between,
was an
like-
economic genius, as
All right,
smart,
guys,
almost
we're
as
slipping
smart
in-
as Mao Zedong.
We're slipping into the spoiler section. I would like to remind you guys that communist is the only way of government. And who is your best girl?
Oh.
What is it? January 20th? I don't know. I don't
That's
know
not even
what
a date
that
on the
is.
calendar. Everyone knows
That
it
a
goes
day
to
that
the
happened?
21st. Anyway, did you like the show, Tom?
I know
Chinese
Tiananmen
government,
Square because it's beautiful.
Listen,
no
Chinese
other
government.
reason.
sponsor us. We're ready for it. On that note, are we about done here? Okay, we're gonna talk
Yeah.
recommendations now, I think. I'll start, I guess. Would I recommend it? No. Listen. I enjoyed it for what it was, and it was better than I expected it to be. I legitimately had a lot more fun with it and enjoyed it a lot more than I thought I was going to at all. I thought I was going to be bored out of my mind, and I was only kind of bored. And actually enjoyed, like, a lot of the bits in the middle. But at the end of the day, man, economics are boring. And that's all. I can't. Like, I loved the sports anime approach, but like JD said, I never once see Lawrence actually benefit from anything they ever did.
Oh yeah. Where does this money go?
Oh no,
I don't know.
He does make a good bit of money. I think it's implied that he spends it. I mean, not implied. They like pretty much come out and say that it's a lot of it's spent on alcohol.
Oh, that's fair.
Fine.
No, but that's the thing though. Like, he makes money, but I never see the money. It's always like either I have these new wares that I need to sell again, or like I bought alcohol, but like I never.
Toward
Nothing cool happens.
toward the end, I think he has 9,000 of the silver coins
Apparently, he loses everything, so I don't know.
worth. Trenny is about
Well,
9,000
he doesn't
trennies.
lose everything, or else he'd be bankrupt.
All right, fair enough. But he loses a good bit. It's just like I never feel like there's a slam dunk we made it moments. It's always just all right, we did it. Now let's keep economicsing, and I can't get invested in that. I love it. I love the implication of it for the future for them. Let me rephrase that. I love the implication that they keep doing that because I think those two characters would like really enjoy that adventure, and I'm really happy for them. But like, I don't want to keep watching it. I'm out.
Jovan, that's how economics works, though. You don't stop making money.
I know, and
Yeah.
that's why it's boring.
When you have more money, you use that to make more money.
And that's
Jovan,
why it's boring.
Then you do that
Only-
till you die.
only the
boring.
top 3% ever make it. Come on.
Well,
Let's
Jovan,
keep
show
it
me a moment.
realistic.
show me a, no.
Jovan, he already has something that's priceless.
Shut up, Alan.
I'm about to hang
Yeah,
up on that.
Get out of here.
All right, somebody else. Recommendations.
No. I mean, if you want to skip your high school economics class for like a week, watch this. Don't think you're getting an education from this, because I have seen people kind of implying that.
Those people are crazy and or exaggerating and or bad.
Oh man, I saw on I was playing a game recently and someone was like, "Oh my god, like I didn't learn anything in college. College is just a babysitting service." I was like, "Have you ever been there? Like,
No.
what is it? If you're not learning, you get kicked out within the first year."
Yeah.
Like,
That you
they
will learn.
weed you out pretty easy.
All right, well, that's Tom, I guess.
Yeah,
JD?
no, sorry, I don't know where that came from. It bothers me,
So
dude.
It's
if
okay, Tom.
so recommendations. If you got nothing else to do,
If you got nothing else to do, then we're gonna watch the next show.
which I think is like the lowest recommendation I can give to something that I'm like, though.
No,
Uh,
I
yeah.
wouldn't.
Oh god, JD's a robot for me.
Oh, he's super robot. I have no idea what JD said.
I think he's fixed.
Okay, he's better now.
Am I okay?
Yeah, you're good.
Okay, so yeah, if you guys want to watch something and want to watch something kind of different than like something that's more generic, I guess it's its own thing
It is.
and it has a fan base.
It is. It does.
I think if you like economics and need that one final push into being a furry, I think this is kind of the perfect gateway.
You know what, guys? I think we need to redo our recommendations. If you're a furry, we're
That's-
sorry for excluding you. Jump the fuck into this show. You're gonna have a great time.
But you have to be a moderate furry, because I'm sure his furry says like they didn't go far enough.
Yeah,
He needs to be-
this
he
ain't
needs to be in
nothing on an
fuck form
Ewok.
all the time. Exactly.
That's true. That's true. If you're a moderate furry, apparently, this is the one for you. I changed my recommendation
This
to
is
sure.
this is
Wait,
the
but she
middle
turned
ground
into an
where-
actual wolf.
Oh, she does. Okay, no, we're good. We're
Actual,
good.
But
There's something for the furry in everyone.
from the fan fiction I've seen out, that's not what they're making it out of, though.
I see.
So
All
if
right,
you want,
last recommendation.
yes.
So I had the power to do this because it's on the podcast. I don't actually like make anyone else watch this, because I'm pretty sure like most people would be bored.
Alan, you're a monster.
I definitely enjoy it, and I think a lot of people could enjoy it. If you're tired of the normal like anime sort of relationship of they're never gonna get together and it's just sort of pussyfooting around, like, I mean, it's not the complete opposite, but it is better.
Oh man, we should watch Pussyfooting the anime. What is that?
That's all of them.
No. It's the one with it's the girl with the straight cut hair, very long. She looks like the girl from The Grudge. Like they keep talking about, she looks like the girl from The Grudge, and she falls in love with that other boy over there. I'll see if I can come up with it by the end of.
Also,
I'll-
JD, you still need to fix that. You can't make me
I
watch
still-
it.
Oh, you're gonna watch it.
I won't.
I think I know exactly what you're talking about.
All right. Anyway, I said the name. Of course, you know what I know.
But
Kimi
yeah,
no Todoke. That's it. Kimi ni Todoke. That show will drive you up a wall if you don't like pussyfooting around.
All right.
They
so Alan,
never do anything.
yeah,
Alan,
and there's
you have
a
more to say?
backdrop of medieval economics.
which you
which
don't have a wall
sometimes-
scroll of.
Which sometimes comes to the forefront, but really it's
No.
about the fox girl and the merchant.
Yeah, no, I mean it's like what I said. It's the long overarch is of them getting to the north, and then the smaller little arcs are the economic turmoil.
Yeah.
Alrighty. With all of that in mind, time to talk about what we're watching in 2 weeks. Samurai Flamenco, brought to you by JD. Nope. That was a lie.
Damn it! I was like, I didn't think of next.
It's not.
It's
You
something
it's
else,
not.
yeah.
It's a Monogatari.
Monogatari Season 1, or Series 1, or whatever it is.
It's series one because
Make a
it's
Monogatari.
2 seasons. Technically.
No,
And
Well, okay, so there are parts. It's like JoJo's, where there are
don't say that to me.
the third. Oh,
Yeah,
sorry, in the
there's-
first season, I think there are 3 or 4.
So there's an actual season called second season, but it's not the latter 13 episodes. It's like its own thing.
yeah,
We're
no,
watching
but
the
we
first 26
watched-
episodes.
There are 30, but
Okay,
that's only
fine.
because Bakemonogatari had like a wrap up, 3 episodes.
Yeah.
Worth watching, but like they were added in later. I think it's just Bakemonogatari, Nisimonogatari, and Nekomonogatari. It's about if you guys have seen XXX Holic, it's like a less. It's an artsy XXX Holic, I suppose. It's
Can't
about
say
a
it's
kid.
less creepy.
It is less creepy. Well, creepy in a different way. XXX Holic has like actual like spirit creepiness. Bakemonogatari is only creepy because the main character is a bit of a pedophile. So it's about a kid who's very interesting for a main character, and it's mostly a comedy about recurring gags. It's gag comedy. It's like this thing happens again. And you're like, and then it happens again. You're like, oh, okay, okay, and it happens again. You're like, all right.
There's also some kind of story there.
Oh yeah. No, the story's pretty good. So it's about a kid who helps people out with their supernatural problems. Without getting too much into it, he used to be a vampire, and now he is 1/10 of a vampire. And
He's a really
he helps.
shitty vampire.
He's shitty at fighting, but it's good. It's good. Beautifully animated. Beautifully animated. It is. If you guys did not like the talking to Tatami Galaxy, buckle up.
Yeah. Okay, it's not as fast though. It's not as fast.
No. It's not as fast, but there's more of it. And so what it really is it's almost as if it's a book, and they were like, these people are just having a conversation instead of them just being on a plane talking to each other. Let's do interesting things as the animators for stuff to happen while they're talking. And most of it, like the entire show, except for like very short instances, is a conversation between the main character and another person. There's no other character. If you see a character, they're important. You do not see. There are no background characters. It is empty cities, and even if it does show in like 2 instances, it shows like they're not important. They're just a plot device. But I think they do a good job not having to bring in those plot devices. What is that? Oh, okay. Yeah. Anyway, it's beautiful. It's mostly stills and it's a lot of talking. It's one of my favorite.
So, as you guys know, I won't be available in 2 weeks, as I will be down with the flu. And
I might
unable
actually
to
be
watch.
down with the flu because everyone I live with is sick.
It's because Alan's boarded up in his room, though. He's keeping out the zombies.
I promise you guys, this is a worthwhile watch.
I'm just saying, if in 2 weeks the show starts and it looks like I've changed a little bit, I promise it's not just a pillow I drew a face on. I'm just gonna be a little quiet.
No,
are we
guys,
gonna
like,
be watching Neko Monogatari?
Yes, I'd like to watch all of that.
Okay.
Oh boy. Okay.
Because
So
I think
it's
it's all the
Bake
first
and Nisei.
season. That way we can do the second season. And
It's
easy.
Bake and Nisei the Neko?
Yes, and
Okay.
then
No.
we're not watching second season,
Okay.
but I think second season is amazing. I haven't seen all of third season yet, but second season is the reason that you put up with first
So
season.
where does
but
Katana
first season's
Guitar
like-
fit in the storyline?
Same author, as you may know,
It is the same author, yes.
unrelated.
Alright, I'm just looking
think-
forward to the... Someone's gonna die in this show and it's gonna take them like half an hour to die.
I did want to say one more thing. There are weird instances of like pop culture references. There are a lot of Japanese ones, which is understandable, and there are a lot of weird American pop culture references that many Americans may not get
Okay.
because they're like older, but
Okay.
also some obscure ones. They've got weird jokes.
We'll get to it. We will get to it. Also, in two weeks, a couple more announcements. I think, Thomas, you said Sam will be joining us for that one.
Oh yeah, she's gonna be right here. She'll just
Perfect.
It's
That means I only have to make 5 windows. Because, everybody, you might be seeing the glorious return of one other person. Steven quit his job.
Yay!
But JD still has to
Yeah,
watch
no
shit
more.
with us now. He doesn't
We
get
have
to
so
leave.
many people, though.
Yeah,
I
JD,
now
can...
we're
you're
gonna
part of the
have 5
podcast.
people.
You made it.
Shit.
We've got to start like now. This is gonna become too cluster. We just need to all start getting together and getting a nice microphone and sitting in front of a camera, all on some stools or something.
It's okay. I'm gonna invest in a cardboard cutout of myself, so you won't have to worry about that.
No,
You're
honestly
stuck with
though,
us forever, JD.
if we do continue this past college, I think it'd be interesting if we started doing it by getting together in
It
person.
depends on where we all end up.
Yeah,
That
if
is
one of us
very
moves
true.
pretty far, it's gonna be kind of hard.
GG.
It is
Yeah.
very possible I may move west because I have something that's possibly lined up. But
Oh, that's awesome. All right. On that happy note of Thomas getting a job,
it's a possibility.
I guess we're gonna bid you guys adieu.
Don't forget about the toothbrush scene.
Let's talk about the toothbrush scene.
Toothbrush
Go away.
scene.
End the show.
Uh,
End the
Save
show.
me.
End the show right
Save
now.
me.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's hard to explain.